Hello, my name is Natalie and I thought I would do this wee random video. Um, it's about if after 2 in the morning, it's like New Year's Eve. Now, I'm actually videoing this from my phone, so I don't have any fancy equipment, the fancy lights or anything like that. It really is just me talking random. About migraines. Maybe I might have a few things added in that's not related to migraines, but I'm quite random. So bear with me, okay? So this video is really to make people kind of aware of migraines, or if anyone's having the same symptoms as me, they could maybe go and speak to their doctor. Obviously, I'm not a doctor by any means. Now, I've battled like kind of headaches since I was in high school, maybe even before, even primary. But I was never taken to a doctor or anything like that regarding it. But they kind of dwindled, like it was weird. But as the years progressed, they kind of came back worse. Now, I've been a migraine sufferer for about over 5 years. But I wasn't on prescribed medication for them. I don't personally like taking tablets. So years ago when I took them really bad, I would actually suffer the pain and only take them if I really had to, because I didn't want my body to get immune to the paracetamols, because then they don't work for you the same, and eventually I get sick of them, and I only took them if I really had to, and sometimes I would take one. If that didn't work, I would take another one. But then it was ibuprofen. I started taking. So it was ibuprofen, and I would take maybe one of them and maybe two. But to kind of cut it short, without getting into too much details, eventually they just were getting worse and kind of worse. And I'm quite resilient, because I battled this pain and I never took any pain. I let it run its course naturally, and eventually I just couldn't do it anymore. And then with the painkillers, I increased them and I started taking them a lot more. And personally, I didn't really like it. But what can you do? Sorry, I think I'm kind of itchy. I think it's a nervous thing, because I'm not even wearing any makeup. I've just got my night cream on, my Nivea cellular night cream. I also use Nivea UV face as well, every day, even if I'm not going anywhere. And that's kind of random. But back to migraines. So, as I was saying, time passed, years had passed, and I contacted my doctor. They were getting worse. I mean, I was getting headaches 5 times a week, some worse than others, and it can lead into a migraine. So mine starts from a headache, then it builds its way up. Some people can get warning signs like flashing lights and all that. Personally, for me, I actually used to get yawning. So if I took a headache and I started yawning, that would actually be a sign that I'm taking a migraine. But I don't get that anymore. So when I take a normal headache, I'm like, oh no, is this going to be a migraine? I don't actually carry painkillers in my bag with me to work. I don't really know why. I maybe should. But so say for example I took a migraine at work, I would need to wait to come home, and I would maybe take 2, because it depends on how long I've had the headache kind of first, Sometimes it can be quite mild. Now, my resilience is quite strong because I've took them for years. I can still operate in a really bad headache, which people would consider a bad headache. I can kind of operate in that, because I'm immune to it. But when it comes to a migraine, it's a completely different story because I'm in severe pain, and I'm not ashamed to admit, a few years back I took a really bad one and I was actually in tears because of it, and I was lying in a fetal position in my bed because of the pain. Like I say, I know I'm lucky because there's a lot of people worse than me. People need to be hospitalised and all that. So I really do think I'm lucky to a certain extent. But the thing is, like, it's so invisible. I mean, people would see me in the street. I'm a walker, I walk all the time. So people would actually see me in the street and they would not think twice that I could be in agony. You know, because I would still walk home like nobody would know, because I don't really bat an eyelid about it, because I don't want it to sound like a hypochondriac. But I'm sorry about the angles in this video. If it's horrid, I'm nothing I can really do, but I'm trying to kind of do the best I can. But anyway, but I thought I would talk about my symptoms. So it's a throbbing pain one side of the head. Sometimes I get back at my back, it's like somebody's pulling a tight band on the back of my head really, really tightly, like putting really pressure on it and pulling it against me really tightly. I can't, like, you know, can't really show it because of the way this video is, but it's like, I mean, it's sore, and then I would get nausea, but it is a long process. It's not just, you know, I can have the pain for hours and then it progresses, like I say, but I don't want to keep the video too long. Now, a few years back I got a bit of a fright because I started taking ocular migraines. Now this is what it was like. So it's like this thing here, this is a bauble. Now, I see that kind of floating about my eye, like something like that floating about. I'm still aware of who people are and stuff, but it gets quite blurry. But I know some people lose their eyesight, so again, I know I'm lucky. I don't want to sound like I'm moaning. I know I'm lucky, you know, to a certain extent. You know, but so obviously you Google things and you think it's something more serious, it's best not to Google it. But obviously it turned out to be ocular migraines, and I'm on Imigran for that. Now, as I was saying, remember this is a random video, so if I repeat myself in this, it's really because it is a random video. I've not rehearsed it or anything like that. I've not got notes or anything to look at. Like I say, as I was on the painkillers and I had to take them more than what I ever wanted to. But I'm on propranolol now, and I think I've been on it for maybe close to a year, and it's okay. You know, it does help, but it reduces them, but I still take headaches and stuff. Now it's 40 milligrams I take twice a day, every day. Now I don't like taking tablets at all. I really don't. But I need to do what I need to do. Like I say, I'm quite resilient, but it came a point where enough was enough, and I couldn't handle the pain anymore. It was getting too much. It really was getting too much. So, you know, you can only take so much sometimes. But the propranolol is really is like a beta blocker or a beta blocker or something like that. Now, it's used for people with angina, so it really is quite a strong tablet. Now, if I wanted to ever come off that tablet, I've got to actually inform my doctor before I come off it, and I've got to come off it gradually. So yeah, now, if you know, I'm curious if you're watching this, if you're actually a migraine sufferer, if you could comment your symptoms and your triggers, because it's quite interesting because everyone's different. Now, my triggers, right, is actually really strong scents. Now, see bleach, I can't use bleach. My own fluid, it's not as strong as bleach, but I can handle it more than bleach, but not. So see the scented candles, you know how the scent that everybody seems to kind of love, the cinnamony smell. Nah. I've got to be careful with certain bath products, because that can trigger it as well. Perfumes, Angel, can't use Angel. I don't actually like that perfume, to be honest, but it is a migraine trigger, so I can't use it anyway. But yeah, so but no, so excessive noise is one of my triggers as well. Now, people would find that quite strange because I actually work with children, but over the years I've just got used to that level of noise. I'm immune to it now. It's been so long since I've worked with children, so yeah, so I'm trying to think of the food can trigger it as well. Now, I love Golden Wonder spring onion crisps. Now, I absolutely adore them, but I can't have any more than one packet, or end up with a migraine. So I don't really know what's in that, but foods can trigger them as well. It's not just like scents and all that. Stress can trigger it. Changes of environment, changes in the weather. Now, actually, when I was young, this used to be quite a common thing. When I was young, the sun actually used to trigger my headaches. Yeah, so, but that kind of dwindled as well. I'm actually more of a winter person, to be honest, than the summer. I know I get strange looks, but I don't really care. I'm more of a winter person than I'm a summer. I don't like to be sweaty, and no, I don't like it. I like to feel clean. Oh, see, this is just a random video, but truth is, I'll be honest with you, I actually prefer watching these types of videos when people are just real and just talking random stuff, because I'm quite random myself. Like, I'm like this in like voice messages for WhatsApp. I'm just like talking about, I jump into one conversation to the next. But anyway, sometimes I just say whatever comes to my mind. But yeah, so that's my triggers. What else is my triggers? The way I'm sleeping, I've got to be careful. Because if you get a sore neck, if your neck gets strained, then that can cause you a migraine as well. Too much sleep, too little sleep. So it's trying to find that balance. Yeah, so that's kind of me with the symptoms and the triggers. It was actually quite good kind of video on this, to be honest. Like I say, I'm sorry that I'm kind of like itchy. I don't really know what's causing that. I don't know if it's a wee stress thing or a wee nervous thing. But oh well, it is what it is. But I do love random videos, and I do talk random stuff. So, but I'm trying to kind of think. Sorry, see, this is what I do. Because it's not rehearsed or anything like that. It's just me being real. So, I'm trying to kind of think. Now, I've never been drunk. Purely because I know if I get drunk, and people have a hangover and they take a headache, well, imagine me being a migraine sufferer, I would probably take it way worse, so that puts me off. Truthfully, I don't like the feeling of knowing what I'm doing anyway. It kind of freaks me out, but that's just my personal choice. People I know get drunk, I don't, that's, you know what I mean. I just kind of like to keep my wits about me and stuff. That's just the way it is, but that's just my personal choice. But that's the reason I don't get drunk as well, because I'm a migraine sufferer, and I'm worried in case I take it, 10 times worse, because I know some people will come to me, oh, I'm a hungover, and oh, I've got a headache, and my head's killing me, and I'm like, don't look for sympathy off of me, because I'm a migraine sufferer. Get something that's self-inflicted. I don't mean to be kind of cold, but it is. You know, that's what happens. I take headaches all the time and I don't even get drunk, so they're coming to the wrong person for sympathy. But anyway, I don't think I'd post here on here all the time, I'll be honest. But I would be curious to know, I mean, see if I'm helping one person, it doesn't matter, you know, I'm not looking for millions of views or, you know, millions of subscribers. I'll probably not get any, but as long as it helps someone, you know, and if they have the symptoms that I have, they can go to their doctors, because they could just honestly think it's a bad headache and it's not. You know, so, or if somebody's watching this with somebody they know and they don't understand it, you know, they think that they're just milking it, which I think a lot of people think you do, and it's not. But like I say, nobody really understands the pain unless they're going through it themselves or they've been through it. Or like, for example, like my parents kind of know because they know how I'm a. You know, if because they witness me with it, they know the pain I'm in. But anyway, this was quite nice actually. Quite enjoyed this. I would kind of like to do reviews, but see, to be honest, the way this, it would need to be something like mascara or something, you know. It would, because of the way I'm using a phone, like I say, I don't have any cameras or anything like that. And maybe people just might not be interested in listening to me anyway, so. But anyway, if you've listened right through to the end, thank you for listening and watching. So I'll say bye for now. Okay, bye.